Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Elation Professional. We're here for another coffee break live stream, and we hope it's going to be a smart, intelligent, and hopefully a thought-provoking one for you this morning. My name is Alistair.
Good morning, my name is Frederick, and we are streaming live to you wherever you are right now from our Elation laboratories here in Kerkrade, center of Europe in the Netherlands. And it's going to be an interesting day today because we do some really nice work together with you. We're going to take a look at our great innovations we have over here. So it's going to be a little bit more technical today, but we're going to show you some really nice innovations.
So today we're going to walk you through our Smarty Series. So this is really a small selection of hybrid fixtures with a versatile, powerful beam, all housed in a small form factor. So over the years, hybrids have really become a workhorse fixture within our industry. So that spot, beam, and wash capability has really given lighting designers all of the features and the effects that they need to make some very dazzling and eye-catching looks.
And hybrid fixtures are very popular nowadays because they offer you the great advantage as a rental company, as a production company, as a designer, or in a venue. You can choose between 3 different types of lamps. You have a beam, a spot, a wash, everything in one housing. And today we're going to show you how great the advantages of discharge lamps are in these fixtures.
So with our lineup of hybrids, we actually wanted to bring something extra and enhance the product for people. So we really focused on creating a quicker return on investment and therefore a greater value for money with our hybrid fixtures. So therefore, we worked with Philips and we helped develop and perfect the Platinum MSD Flex 200 and Flex 400 lamps. So with this Flex technology, we have a smartly designed lamp, we have a re-engineered ballast, and we have some clever software. And all of this works to create a lamp with a very high output performance, but yet with compact, and it has an efficient long life operation.
And the great advantage of these discharge lamps is actually that we put all the advantages of an LED inside the discharge lamp technology. Before you were only able, when you had a discharge lamp, to just dim down when you closed the shutters. But then the projection was not nice anymore, the beam got smaller, and so on and so on. Just picture a scene in a TV studio where you wanted to dim down the intensity of a discharge lamp. The only way was the shutter, and you could use different options to make it a little bit less intense, but LED was a good solution. But still, you had to look between what makes sense, discharge or LED, when you wanted to do a nice beam effect. But now we have a great advantage here. You can choose a beam which is really, really bright, and we have different power modes inside the lighting fixture, inside the discharge lamp. So you can select your intensity. You don't need to close the shutters. You just select the intensity of the discharge lamp, and then they dim down. And that is a big, big advantage in the new Flex technology.
So now we have reliable lamps with those power-saving modes, power-saving capability. And because Elation has been involved with the evolution of these lamps from the beginning, we actually really trust these lamps and we really trust the technology behind them. So that really allows us to offer an unparalleled warranty of 4,000 hours for the Flex 400 lamp and 6,000 hours for the Flex 200 lamp, or 2 years as a time period, whichever comes first.
So this warranty is very unique in our industry. There's no other company offering a warranty on discharge lamp, but we really believe in our technology. And we know how great it is because we have always been developing on discharge technologies. We have always been looking for a perfect solution. And in this case, the target was to make a very, very long lifetime of a discharge lamp. So really, we believe in the technology and offering 4,000 or 6,000 hours or a 2 years warranty, whatever comes first. And this is a great advantage for you as a user, as a rental company, or as a designer, because you can plan ahead with your costs. You know what you have to expect within the first 2 years. And so your return of invest is really very, very fast.
So today we're going to take you through all 3 products within the Smarty range. So first up will be the Smarty Hybrid. So we get 11,000 lumens out of the front from, as you can see, a very compact unit, but every bit of space is filled with features and effects, and we're going to see all of those today.
And the Smarty Hybrid looks familiar to you because it has been on tour with several big bands all across the globe. Lately we had a very nice tour in France where they were using 120 pieces on stage to give a great, great look. And you might have seen them on TV because they are perfect for TV due to the possibility of dimming down the discharge lamp so you don't have to close the shutters. And that was the reason why you can see them right now on TV in Germany on the show called The Voice, and before you could even see them on Ninja Warrior Germany. So whenever you click on your TV, just take a look at the Smarty Hybrids. You will probably see them on many, many other TV shows due to the great advantage of dimming down the lamp like you would know it from an LED.
And we'll also look at the unit in the center, which is the IP65 sister product to the Smarty Hybrid. So this is the Proteus Smarty Hybrid. So it offers all of the same capabilities and the features of the Smarty Hybrid, but crucially with our proven IP65 marine-grade multi-environment housing. So that gives us all access to use hybrids now reliably in environments that typically would not be very kind to automated lighting. And at Elation, of course, we've really finessed and pioneered our IP65 heritage over the years, and now we can bring the Smarty into that world, so you can use these lamps reliably in places that it should be working, whether it be a dusty indoor environment or the harshest outdoor conditions, with no compromises.
And well, yeah, today we're the Smarty Brothers for you, and of course it's coffee break, so cheers to everyone. We have our coffee here. In this case, I brought some water just to do a little experiment with you, because all the possible solutions we have here in the Smarty Hybrid, in the IP65 version called Proteus Smarty Hybrid, of course, make sure you can clean it with water. So you just take some water when you want to clean it, put it on the front, or clean the lens, or clean the housing, whatever you want to do. It is capable of taking water, dust, beer, and so on and so on. So the Proteus Smarty Hybrid is a perfect solution for you as a club owner, for you as a designer for a cruise ship, because it has marine coating as well. You can use it outdoors, on the coast, on the seaside. Salt water won't harm it. And the great advantage is 6,000 hours lifetime of the lamp, or 2 years. This is the warranty we're offering on the bulb inside. So whenever you put it on a cruise ship or you put it on an architectural install, don't worry about the lifetime. Just imagine you have this fixture running every weekend for, let's say, 40 hours, and 50 weekends a year. You only have 1,000 hours per year. So that's nothing. And we're offering 6,000 hours lifetime on that bulb here, on the Smarty and on the Proteus Smarty Hybrid. So that's a big, big advantage. To calculate your cost, you can be sure that you don't have to worry about anything because you're covered by our warranty.
And then finally today, we're going to look at the Smarty Max on the right-hand side. So this gives us a whopping 21,000 lumens, but crucially keeps the same compact, lightweight form factor like the other products within the range, but still has an extensive feature set that really leaves nothing out.
There's really everything in what you need. It's very, very unique because some things you might have not seen before. We have 4 different prisms inside. We will take a look at them later on. And of course, we have something very special. When you use the beam mode, we have an iris. And that is unique. Nobody else in the market has it. We have an iris inside, which is high quality and can resist high temperatures, because that iris is usually used for lasers. It's an iris which comes from Germany, so we put high quality components inside our products here, and you can use the iris in beam mode. And that is something very unique to create stunning effects, to create really pulsating effects on the beam as well. And the iris is very, very unique because, like I said, it can resist even the highest temperatures we have here from our discharge lamps.
And as usual, today we'll start off by an overview of all of the product design and engineering features that all of the products share as a series.
So we're talking about 3-in-1. 3-in-1 means hybrid. So those units are designed to do a perfect beam, a perfect wash, and a perfect spot projection. Because of our precise and really individual designed lens groups we have inside, we can always achieve the best out of each mode. So when we go to beam mode, we have a special optical system for it. When we go over to the wash mode, the lenses really work perfectly wild and a perfectly great to that mode. And of course, in spot mode as well, the global projection is very, very precise and sharp. And maybe you know it from other beam lights on the market. You always had a little bit of spread light around, and you could see that the beam was not 100% accurate because it got wider in the distance. And when we shoot with those fixtures here, the beam stays parallel, there's no spread light around it, and this is due to the perfectly well-designed optical system we have in all those 3 units.
And let's get back to talk about those lamps again. So we already said that they were engineered to be compact and a small form factor and lightweight. But what that really means to us as a manufacturer is it allows us to create smaller, more compact fixtures. And with the lamp's features such as the short arc, the high color temperature, and an innovative reflector, it really creates a very high beam intensity and excellent color rendering. And the other features you'd expect, of course, that we briefly talked about is a long, reliable lifetime, high efficiency, and even physical features that it's very quick to replace and also has no optimization needed. So those years of having units lined up on a prep bench, fiddling with the 3 screws to align your lamps perfectly, no longer needs to happen. So you save both time and money.
And of course, to replace those lamps is also nothing to worry about, because you might think, oh, this lamp technology might be very expensive. No, they just are regular priced, and you don't have to worry about to replace them, because after those 2 years and you have to replace the lamp somehow, the costs are very, very low, and there's nothing you have to worry about in the future.
So this really adds up to an economical, bright source that performs flawlessly every time. And don't forget about those warranties, of course. But at the design stage, like Frederick suggested earlier, we really wanted to get the positive features and benefits of an LED source and put them back into a discharge lamp. So as you all know, on an LED source, the dimming is done through the LEDs themselves. There's no physical flags. But on discharge fixtures, of course, you need those physical flags back in the fixture. So whenever those close, the heat starts to build up in the fixture, which can stress and even potentially damage internal components. But with this flex technology, when those shutters close, those power saving and hibernation modes kick in and the lamp goes to sleep, so there's no more heat anymore. But when the shutters open up again, it's an instant on with no flicker, no delay, and no visible shift of the arc.
And being hybrids, really you can expect that every little space is filled with gobos, with multiple prisms, with color options, and so on, because all of them share, for example, CMY modules, which we will take a look at on closer later. And you can be sure that they, besides they're so feature-packed, they're really fast and accurate, because the motor design on those units is really optimized for their size and for the features they fit inside. So all the speeds and all the motors inside work extremely fast, and you can create dazzling effects because the flexibility allows you to really get them on point whenever you need them in any position.
And for control, of course, DMX and RDM is standard, but we also bring you ArtNet and streaming ACN protocol support. And even the Smarty hybrid actually adds in our Elation eFly wireless DMX, so that's on board and ready to use. And across all 3 fixtures, of course, depending on the DMX mode that you choose, you can have access to lots of presets and macros for colors, prisms, gobos, etc., to give your creativity a little hand and save you a little time if you want.
And now speaking about a little bit the software, because our engineers did a great job here. Usually you would think discharge lamp, it can be only switched on and off and that's it. Shutters can be closed and opened and that's it. But we put a lot of efforts on the software to give you a new experience in dimming. So besides the dimming of the shutters, we have also implemented the dimming of the discharge lamp. So we have those 3 different power modes. They go from high to medium to low power, and this is in combination together with the shutters, a perfect solution for you to dim. And this is a new dimming experience which you only know from LEDs usually. So all the advantages of LED we put inside here again, and you can select different dimming curves and different dimming behaviors as well. So as you need them to be like on a TV set or in a theater play and so on, the moment you close the shutters, for example, the units become more silent, because then the fan does not work so hard anymore, because there's less heat. Because if you put down the power by 50% or even more, there's of course less heat, and that means less cooling, less noise, and so on and so on. And that's a big advantage in any TV studio, theater application, and so on and so on. Of course, maintenance is also made easier, because usually the fans in any other product would run all the time on 100% because the discharge runs on 100%. But here, less fan means also less dirt inside the fixtures, so cleaning is not that much of an issue later on, and so on and so on. So we really put a lot of efforts in the software to make the software suitable to the discharge lamp and to the fan modes and to the dimming and so on and so on.
So I think it's time to start having a look at some fixtures. So we'll start with the Smarty hybrids. So we're going to show both working together just to emphasize that they do have the same capability, but both use that Flex 200 lamp. So that combined with a well-engineered optical path gives us 11,000 lumens out of the front. And of course, you've got that 6,000 hours of lamp, which you can run at different wattages. The power saving, the hibernation, the instant on, all applies. Optically, we give you, in terms of a zoom range, we give you 1 to 18 degrees as a beam. We give you 3 to 27 degrees as a spot. And we give you 5 to 33 degrees as a wash. And of course, we have a full CMY color mixing on board. So let's start having a look at that. You can see really vibrant, nice color mixing.
Yeah, and you can see how great the intensity of that beam is. And this is really a big advantage of the discharge lamp, that the brightness stays extremely high and the color mixing is also very smooth through our advanced technology of the CMY flex.
And we also have a 13-position color wheel inside, so let's have a look at that. So this includes a CTB, a CTO, a UV, and even an old-school quad filter, which we're going to pause on in just a second. So we'll see this again later working with prisms, but this is a really nice, unique feature, and designers and all of us here really love this specific quad color. So let's continue with the rest of those fixed colors. And of course, we have 2 gobo wheels inside. So we have an 8-position rotating wheel, and we also have a 12-position static wheel. So let's have a look at the rotating one first. So this offers a great choice of patterns, but of course, being a hybrid, most of the patterns are really aerials to give you a stunning mid-air performance.
And you can see the amount of gobos is really great here. Some of the gobos might look familiar to you because we all share the same gobo sets here. And those variety of gobos really allows you to create a lot of different effects. So you can really choose very, very fast between those different gobos and create and design the look you want.
And next, we'll have a look at that 12-position static wheel, which actually starts with these 4 beam reducer gobos to get you that smaller aperture for when you need it, quick and easy.
And you can see how clear the projection of the gobos is, and that was the optical system I was talking about. We really have a carefully designed lens inside, and they really make sure you have a very crisp and clear projection with no spread light around it and with no compromises. And that is very, very important when you want to do a very nice show, let's say on TV or on a bigger stage.
And next up, of course, we have a frost in the unit, so that really gives you the nice optimized wash field, really completing the capability of the unit to act as a dynamic wash unit. And now we get to the real fun stuff, so the prisms. So firstly, we have this 4-facet linear. And we can add in a couple of gobos just to give you an example and see how that performs, both as an aerial and projected. And the next prism is this 16-facet circular. And again, this looks really great with a couple of examples, like this one, a really nice organic, and it works brilliantly as an aerial as well.
I mean, if you just Picture this one here on a big stage. You have a few of them, or like we had recently in France at the Chaka Ponk tour, we had 120 pieces of those on the stage. Just imagine how beautiful it looks and how dazzling those effects are, because this is something what the unit can do very, very good. Work together with multiple different units to really give a unique design of every stage you are creating.
And next, I think we'll flip them around and we'll have a look at them from the front, so you really get the aerial capability of this right now. And let's bring it down into the camera. So this is a static gobo working with a prism. So as you can see, that's a really beautiful look, really nice defined beams. And we can put in a rotating gobo as well, just to see what that offers. Again, quite mesmerizing. And finally, we'll bring back in that quad filter that we talked about, and look at that. People love this.
Yeah, that really looks like a tunnel effect. And just picture how many different options you have with those 4-color chip we have inside, and then additionally those prisms and the gobos. This is a combination which gives you really endless possibilities to do a unique effect, to do a unique show and give it your personal touch.
So next, I think we'll have a move on to the Smarty Max. So the Max uses the Flex 400 lamp. It gives us 21,000 lumens out of the front in a form factor that's really very similar, compact and lightweight, next to its sister products in the Smarty range. And the Flex 400 lamp gives us really the same criteria as the Flex 200 lamp, but this time with 4,000 hours of warranty.
Well, the lamp, what we use inside here, is great because it really can cut through longest distances. This big one here, the Smarty Max, is really designed for the biggest stages. But if you are in a situation where you really have a smaller stage or in a TV studio and you need less brightness, you just dim down the source and you can do your job properly. Because again, when you are on a TV set, it is often a challenge to bring down the brightness. You only had the shutters in the past, but now with this possibility or with this technology, you have really the best options to dim down the entire unit, to dim down the entire discharge lamp, and to bring down your brightness without any compromises. So you're not cutting down the beam. The beam stays as it is. The projection, the gobos stay nice. Because all of you might remember the situation when you dim down a discharge, it always destroys the projection and it doesn't look nice anymore, whether if it's on camera or if it's on a stage. But with this technology, we're really getting rid of those issues. We just dim down the discharge lamp as it is, and then all the problems are solved and the projection stays beautiful as it is.
And in terms of the zoom range, the Max gives us 2 degrees to 20 degrees as a beam, gives us 3 to 30 degrees as a spot, and it gives us 9 to 35 degrees as a wash. And it's important to add as well, the Max has this really nice 160 millimeter front aperture, which really looks great on camera or at the front of a stage, for example. And now let's have a look at the colors. So like the other hybrids, it gives us that nice, smooth, seamless CMY mix again, as you can see. But in addition, we also give you a variable CTO wheel, which takes your color temperature variably down to 2,700 Kelvin.
And this is, of course, a great feature for any TV set or theater set, because the variable color temperature allows you to play with those different scenarios you have with the different settings you have. And of course, if you dim down the lamp and then you bring down the color temperature, this is like a really perfect replacement for maybe like a tungsten spot, or whenever you want to create a nice color temperature. So the combination with both the different power settings and the variable CTO makes it quite unique.
And next up, of course, we have another fixed color wheel. So this time we offer 13 colors, so they're all a diverse selection of quickly selectable colors that you can call up within seconds. And it's probably time to start looking at gobos. So let's get the unit on the back, and it's in spot mode at the moment.
And you can see here we have 2 different modes inside. So most of you know that discharge lamps have a hotspot in the middle. So the center is often a lot brighter than the outside of the projection. And what we have here is a technology where you can reduce that effect. You can of course, leave it on as it is in beam mode, then the center will be very, very bright and we will see the center specifically. And if you switch over to spot mode, what we're doing here right now, then the projection is quite even and you're eliminating the hotspot in the middle, which is great for any kind of gobo projection.
So this is now in beam mode. So we'll start having a look at the gobo wheels. So we have 2 wheels inside. We have an 8-position rotating wheel and we have a 14-position static. So let's have a look at the rotating one first. So again, these are really mostly aerials to suit the usage of the unit. And we can move on and have a look at the 14 statics, which again, like the others, start with these 4 beam-reducing gobos to give you those smaller apertures.
Yeah, and if you see like how small we can go with the beam, and also, of course, in combination with the iris, you can really use this one to project on 100 or 200 meters, still a very, very tiny small point, and it will be still absolutely crisp and clear, even on longer distances.
And next we have 2 frosts within the unit. So the first one is a frost that you would use to lightly diffuse a gobo. So let's just bring up a gobo quickly, and then we can add in the frost and see how that behaves. So yeah, just a small diffusion, looks really good through haze. But then the second frost is a proper wash frost to give you again that nice optimized wash field.
And now you have to imagine, or just to remember, some situations where you were working in a frost mode and you had to bring down the brightness. That was usually only done with the shutters. So you had to close the shutters a little bit to reduce the brightness in wash mode. But then, of course, you had an ugly effect on the projection. It didn't look nice anymore. But what we can do here, if we want to bring down the brightness in the wash mode, we just dim down the entire unit. We dim down the discharge lamp to medium or low level. And then, of course, everything doesn't look that bright anymore. So you don't have to close the shutters to do this kind of effect. And the projection and the wash mode still remains really beautiful.
And moving on, as we hinted earlier, the unit has an iris inside. So like we said, it's really the only unit in the world, only hybrid in the world that has this feature. So you can get yourself a smaller aperture, but for me, really, it works best using the onboard pulse effects to easily start creating some dynamic sort of mid-air and aerial looks. But the fun really starts on the max with the prisms. So we have 4 prisms inside on 2 different planes. So let's start looking at the first one, which is an 8-facet circular. And let's add in a gobo. And next up is a 6-facet linear. And let's add a gobo to that. So yeah, we love this. It looks really organic. As you can see, it's very it's seamlessly smooth, even at slow speeds and fast speeds. Next up, we have a 16-facet circular. And again, with a gobo, looks pretty amazing, especially through haze. And lastly, we have a 4-facet linear.
Well, and that is something very unique as well. We have 4 different prisms inside that compact unit. And you can imagine how many possibilities and creative tools you have. So that is something very, very unique on the market as well, to have like 4 different prisms in such a small and compact housing.
And let's just show a quick couple of examples of 2 prisms being overlaid, working together. So again, you can get some really nice organic looks out of these kind of out of this unit and this kind of behavior. But moving along, we also have a animation wheel, and it's a dual track animation wheel, which again is quite unique. So let's have a look at that. So the first pattern, just this spot pattern, we can start it moving. But then we also have this rather abstract sort of line pattern as well. Let's start that moving. And when we come to a wider view, you can see those both in the beam working together, which really works great as an aerial, as we will show you now if we move it to the front.
Wow, I mean, it looks almost like a digital projection we're having here. It's just beautiful to look at it, and the possibilities are really endless here, because that animation wheel in combination with different prisms and so on, going to look great, and we're going to show you some examples right now.
Exactly, so let's push it forward. We'll keep the animation in, but let's add in a gobo just to see what happens. Straight into the camera lens. That's very dynamic. That looks really cool. And let's try adding a prism as well.
Wow, it almost looks like a laser, like a white laser source we're having here. So when you play with those units, you often come across a situation where you think like, wow, I have never seen something like this before, and this is really possible with those units here. And yeah, well, besides the warranty we have on the bulb, this is also something unique. The look of the unit is also, and the projection is also very, very unique.
And let's add in some of the color mixing into it as well and see what we can do. That looks incredible. And it's also, don't forget the effects we've added into the software for all these units that it can be very easy to overlook. So for example, both gobo wheels have gobo shake, or gobo color animation wheels can all actually rotate at slow and fast speeds. And we give you many macros or presets inside for colors, gobos, prism, etc. And iris and even the strobes all have random or pulse effects as well, just to give you a little bit of an extra kick with your creativity, maybe save yourself a little time. So that really sums up the Smarty lineup. Compact, powerful, stuffed with features. It's affordable and offering a great value for money with their multi-purpose sort of nature. I'm not seeing too many questions coming in today, so I think we're just about wrapped up for today.
Yeah, well, we'd just like to point out again that we have the warranty here, which is absolutely unique for discharge lamps. So there's no one else offering a warranty of 4,000 in the Smarty Max and 6,000 in the Smarty Hybrid and Prodeo Smarty Hybrid, or the 2 years, whatever comes first. So this is something very unique besides the dimmable discharge lamps in all 3 units. So we would like to welcome you, and we would like to ask you, get in touch with your local dealer, send us a message when you have questions, and get your hands on those units. I mean, maybe you have the possibility to create similar effects like this. Maybe you want to send us some videos what you did, but please get your hands on the units, test them, try them, compare them to anything else in the market, because then you can really see how great they perform, how great the optics are, how great the warranty on the bulb is, and so on and so on. And that gives you a lot of flexibility and freedom to plan ahead with units when you want to invest into something new. Just take them into consideration, make a comparison, and give us a shout. We would like to assist you with this, or contact your local dealer. You can find all the information on our website, elationlighting.eu, or on the Facebook links below. Leave us some comments, give us a shout. This was episode number 10, so we're happy that we have this little anniversary here. Episode number 10 of the Coffee Break. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Next year, we will continue. That was it for 2020. 2020, also the year where we had our 10th anniversary of Elation in Europe here. And next year, we have something more for you to come up with. And yeah, that was it from the Elation Coffee Break number 10. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Alistair, for this year. And that was it. We will see you soon. Stay safe, take care, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we will be seeing you in 2021. All the best, take care.
Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.